Okay guys, welcome to this latest video. In this video, we're going to have a look at how we can take an external file and take the values from an external file and load it into Java. And so we're going to use a simple text file with some values in it. We're going to bring it in using a method that I'm going to give you, store it in an array list, and then copy the array list into our program. Let's start a new project. Maybe we'll call it something straightforward like, I don't know, text reader. Remember again, never put spaces in your code. And let's get rid of all these comments and stuff. Now what you're going to need is you're going to need to copy in a code snippet, and I will make it available. I'll share it in the comments as an external text file, so you get access to it. So it's this thing here. So I'm going to copy this method into here. So obviously you're going to have it inside the class, but not inside the main method. There we go, we got it here. In fact, I'm going to zoom it out a bit so you can see it. Brilliant. Now what you'll see is a bunch of red squiggly lines, syntax errors is identified. Essentially what's happened is that we don't have it imported. So you have to do a few imports. Import the array list, import the buffer reader, import the file reader, and import the IO exception. Awesome. Okay, maybe it's worth taking a moment to discuss what's happening here. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to call this class, this method. We're going to send it the name of the file path to actually get to your text file. In our case, we're just going to simply put it inside the same directory, so we can just give the name. I've initialized a new array list. Remember, the array list is dynamic in size, so it will start small and it can grow to whatever size we need it to be. Data type string. Then we use the buffer reader class. You use this thing called try. So try and catch are done for any input output. What it's trying to say is, hey, maybe you'll give the wrong file name. Maybe the file will be set so it's non-writable. There might be all sorts of issues. So we'll try to do this thing, and if it fails, then we'll catch the exception and we'll print it out. So you're sort of anticipating that you might have some kind of a fault. It's going to take in the file path, initiate a new file reader, send that to buffer reader, and what buffer reader will do is it will allow us to call this concept a readline, this method called readline. And readline will literally take the line of text and then bring it in. And we're going to store it in a string line here. We're initializing it to null, but if it can read something, then it won't be null. And then I will add that line to our array list. And it will keep doing that until it's reading a line that's got nothing there, and it will terminate. So, you know, if you've got 6 lines of text, it will read the 6 lines in. If it's got 4, etc. And at the end, I'm going to return that array list here. So let's call it. So the name of it is read file. So that was the method. I'm going to send it the actual file name, data.txt, and then semicolon. Now, currently, what was the name? We called it text reader. If we go to text reader, there is no file there called data.txt. So if we run it, what's going to happen is it's going to run and it's going to come back with a fault, and it says no such file or directory because we've not put it there. So I'm going to copy one I did earlier. Which one did I do? Here we go. Data.txt. You can obviously just use Notepad, create the file, drop it in. You drop it in the root directory here. So that was not in src, it was in the root directory. And then I can open up data. And we can see here, currently just says the word hello. Great. Now, actually, it still won't work. I don't know if you can spot the reason why. It's probably a little bit small for you, so my apologies. If I run this, Oh no, okay, fine. It's being kind to us because I've got data in capitals, but presumably it's just switched to auto lowercase. Okay, so it ran and then nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Well, we've told it to return the data into an array list. So we're going to have to, we've called it, and so it's a function, and we need to return it and hold it. So I'm going to have an array list, data type string, maybe we'll call it data equals read file in here, oops, string with a capital S, of course. And let's try running again. Build successful. Again, it's not doing anything. Well, it is doing something. It's copying all that data, dropping it into that array list. But then finally, we could take a string. Actually, let's just do it in one line. So we're going to print out. What are we going to print out? We're going to print out data dot get 0. So the first thing in there, and print out that data. See what happens. Okay, and it's saying hello. So what's happening here? Well, it's taking this line, it read that in from the file, hello, and at this place here, it added it to lines. It tried to read the next line, there was nothing there, so it was null, so it terminated this while loop. It returned lines, lines was returned here, that array list. We stored it as data, this array list called data, and I got the first one there. And if I go, we can say, how are you? Second line. If I run it, it's still going to just say hello because that's the only thing we've got in here. But now if I switch this get to line 1 and run, it's going to say, how are you? And so, you know, I could even have some kind of a for loop or even a while loop that could keep going around. I could do like something like this, or read while there's not null or while there's still something in the array list, the length of the array list, I can print out the contents. Okay, you know what I might do in the next video is we might look at, for instance, using commas to separate it and using the dot split function that allows you to separate the values from it and put it into a two-dimensional array. I'll show you that in the next lesson, and we can do right. So, but for today, if you just want to simply read files from a text file, read data from a text file, that's how